Back. If you were here last week for our noon stress relief yoga class, we're back again this week. And for my regular folks, I brought in tools today. I hope you can see those. So I'm glad that you're here with us. Any new folks, welcome as well. And maybe you were able to tune in to Sally's Fit 50 class at 9 o'clock this morning. So definitely after this class is over, check the schedule for the rest of the opportunities this week here at the Indianapolis Healthplex going live. So we're going to start off on our backs like we always do for this class. So if you don't have a yoga mat and you want to use a towel, that totally works as well. So the reason why we start on our backs at the beginning of class, I have a lot of people that come in from work, maybe from a volunteer job that they've had earlier in the day or running errands. So for this class, we try to take the first few minutes just to let that body settle in on the mat, listen to our breath, and tune out whatever was happening before you come into this room or space. So you could do that today as well. And maybe if you just need to find that quiet spot in the house or in your office at work. So we're going to start on the back. I'm going to go ahead and stand while I cue this. I want you to go ahead and come down onto your back. So you can fully recline on the back, or you can also bend the knees. Just have those knees bent and let that upper part of the back rest on the mat. The other thing that I'll mention is the eyes open or closed. So a couple props as well today. I've got some straps, some knee pads, and a block. So if you want to take a moment, if you want to grab any of those things that might be helpful for your practice today. If you don't have a strap, I brought in just a scarf, something that will help with some of the leg extension work that we do today. So let's get started on the back, just finding that comfortable spot, maybe closing the eyes if that feels right for you. Again, always checking in and tuning in with your body and your needs during the class time. So we're going to start with the jaw. We're going to open the jaw a couple times, just a big eye here. Maybe one more. Just releasing that jaw area, allowing all the muscles in the face to soften. And then we're going to move down to that chest area. Again, you're on the back right now doing these. So that chest opens up, those shoulders roll down away from the ears. And then finally, that lower half of the body, settling in on the mat. If that mind begins to wander during this time, just coming back to that gentle breath, moving in and out through the nose. So a count of breath for our class is one inhale and then a complete exhale. So I'm going to let you take the next few moments, just a little quiet here. We're just going to focus on that gentle breath in and out through the nose. And then from here, we're going to move that hand onto the chest, one onto that stomach area. So just noticing that breath moving in and out through the body. If you've turned on a diffuser or a candle going, just allowing all of those things to just take you down a little deeper into that mat, letting go a little bit more, letting that body settle in. A little bit more of a release here. And again, that hand on the heart and on the stomach, we're just noticing that breath moving in and out through the body. So engaging all those senses. And then finally, we're going to move into that extended exhale. So sometimes when we're out running around during the day, we're not taking this full breaths, we're rushed. So here we're just going to allow that exhale to last a little bit longer than the inhale. So taking that nice inhale and then fully emptying out on that exhale. And then we're going to come back to that natural breath again, what the body does on its own, just that gentle inhale and exhale through the nose. I'm going to come down onto the mat now. You could stay where you are, So we're going to gently bring those knees up into the chest. So you have a couple options here. Wrap opposite hand to opposite elbow, or you can hold on right below the knees. So we're going to bring those knees up and in, keeping that chest tucked towards the chest. We're going to take a nice full inhale. Exhale, releasing, letting that lower back gently press into the mat. 2 more just like that. Nice inhale. Exhale, release. Last one, inhale. Exhale, gently release. And then from here, we're going to take the hands around the back of the legs. We're going to rock and roll up along that spine a few times to come up to our seated posture. So taking as many of those as you need to, or just coming up to that seated posture. So again, if it's not comfortable for you to cross the legs, you can always extend them out, finding that spot that's comfortable for you. So one of the things we want to think about here is getting up to those sitting bones. So maybe rocking back and forth a few times. Here we'll find that navel. We're going to pull up through the crown of the head. So lifting up here, we're going to roll those shoulders down and away from the ears, over the chest. And then finally, tucking back that chin. So we've got that nice alignment, that nice open airway. You can bring the hands down onto the knees. And then if you want, you could always close the eyes. We're going to do 3 rounds of breath here. First time in our seated posture. After that 3rd round of breath, we're going to tuck that chin towards the chest. We're going to roll that right ear over to that right shoulder, back through center. We're going to roll that left ear over to that left shoulder. So just a gentle little rocking motion side to side. Again, this is something you can easily do at work, at your desk. So always finding little ways to incorporate that with yoga into your daily routine. Just releasing the sides of the neck here. And then we're going to come back up through center, checking in with that alignment, pulling up through the crown of the head. Shoulders down away from the ears, chest stays open. So from here, we're going to work on some shoulder rolls. We're going to gently come up on an inhale. On that exhale, we're going to roll those shoulders forward. So getting in those little nooks and crannies. And then we're going to reverse that direction. So we're going to come up on that inhale. We're going to open up that chest, sliding those shoulder blades closer together and down the back. So again, especially if you are driving a lot or working at a desk, we tend to get here. Make sure you've got that counter movement, opening up through that chest, letting those shoulder blades slide down the back. And then we're going to relax those shoulders down and away from the ears. From here, we're going to take those hands off to the fingertips touching the floor next to you. We're going to take a nice inhale through the nose. And then on the exhale, we're going to let the breath out through the mouth this time. So nice big inhale. I want to hear everybody on that exhale. 2 more. Big inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Nice big inhale. Last one. Big inhale. And then exhale. Release. From here, we're going to work side to side through the waist. So we've done our neck, shoulders, now moving down to the waist. We're going to take a big inhale, reaching those arms up overhead. On that exhale, we're going to plant that left hand on the floor. We're going to reach up and over that right ear with that right arm. So I want you to think about feeling that release from the hip all the way out through those fingertips. That nice side body stretch. We're going to gently come back through center, taking an inhale and exhale here. We'll take it to the opposite side now. So big inhale, reaching all the way up. Exhale, planting that right hand this time. That left arm up and over that left ear, feeling that release from that hip out to those fingertips. And then gently coming back through center. We're going to do that one more time on each side. So nice big inhale, reaching up. Exhale, planting that left hand. That right arm coming up and over that right ear. Coming back through center, taking that recovery breath, nice inhale and exhale. We'll take it to the opposite side again. Big inhale, reaching up. Exhale, planting that right hand, this time that left arm up and over that left ear. And then gently coming back through center. We're going to do a few little rotations with the wrist, setting up for cat-cow. Just letting the wrist move around a little bit this afternoon. And then sometimes we do that little wave motion, elbow to elbow, getting that brain. Think about moving those arms both directions. And we're going to come onto our hands and knees for our cat-cow flow. So as my regular folks know, I usually mention this. It's a great way to start your day. If you want to try to incorporate one or two things into your day, the cat-cow is a nice one to start out with. So keeping that yoga mat or towel next to your bed when you get up in the morning, just starting with that little cat-cow flow up and down along the back. So to set up for the cat-cow, we're going to have those knees about hip distance apart. We're going to bring the hands down onto the mat. I always mention not dropping all that weight on top of the wrist. So trying to get back on that medial part of the hand. And then I like to cup my hands, pressing those finger pads into the mat, checking in with the joints, the elbows, and that wrist area. So not completely locking all the way out. So giving a little slight bend to those elbows. So from here, we're going to drop that belly, opening up that chest on the inhale, taking that gaze forward, not overextending through the back of the neck. And then on the exhale, we're going to round all the way through that back, that nice arch, that cat back. Again, dropping that belly, inhale, opening through the chest, gaze forward, exhale, rounding. I'm going to let you do a few of those at your own pace. Again, thinking about working all the way up and down the spine, from the base of the skull, all the way down to the tailbone. Incorporating that breath with the movement, which is what makes yoga different than some of the other things you might do. Breath working through with. And then we're going to come back to our tabletop. From here, we're going to sweep that right arm up on an inhale. On that exhale, we're going to thread that arm underneath that left arm, bringing that right ear closer to the mat. Now, this is an opportunity where you can always use the block. If you can't reach here, you can always go here. So finding those modifications that work for you. So again, we're going to sweep that left arm up. Inhale, exhale, bringing that right ear closer to the mat. And we're going to gently come back through center. Recovery breath here, gentle inhale and exhale through the nose. On that next inhale, we're going to sweep that left arm up this time. So inhale, reaching up with that left arm, exhale. Threading that left arm underneath, bringing that left ear closer to the mat. And then gently coming back through center. Checking in with those elbows and wrists again before we go into sunbird. So sunbird is a balancing posture. There's a couple options here. You can always just do the legs and not the arms. Just listen to your body today, what feels comfortable for you. So on that next inhale, we're going to take our left leg back, pointing those toes down to the floor. I'm going to try to keep those hips level, so keeping that left leg from being here, but rather here. If you feel stable here, you can always reach out with that right arm, that thumb towards the ceiling. That core is engaged. The other option is just keeping that arm on the mat, working on balancing that lower part of the body. Focusing on that gentle breath in and out through the nose, never losing that breath in the posture. And I'm going to bring that right hand back to the mat, that left knee back to the mat. Taking that recovery breath here, we'll go to the right side. So on an inhale, we'll take that right leg back. Same thing, toes pointing down towards the floor. You can stay here, or reaching that left arm through, bringing that left thumb up towards the ceiling. Bringing that left hand down, that right knee down to the mat. On this next set today, we're going to do a little crunch as we come back through the exhale. So I'm going to take that left leg back behind us, toes pointed down. I'm going to reach that right arm out. I'm going to take a full inhale. On that exhale, we're going to bring that elbow and knee together. Inhale, opening. Exhale, elbow, knee together. Inhale, opening. Exhale, elbow, knee together. Inhale, opening. That hand and knee come back to the mat. And here we'll go to the right side now. So on that inhale, that right leg goes back. That left arm goes out. Taking our inhale, on that exhale, elbow knee together, inhale, opening. Exhale, elbow knee together, inhale, opening. Exhale, elbow knee together, inhale, opening. That hand and knee coming back to our mat, taking that recovery breath here in between. And then we're going to take it to the left side again. So on an inhale, we're going to send that left leg back behind us. We're going to reach that right arm out in front. This time we're going to add a little deeper stretch. That left heel back. We're going to reach those fingertips forward. Gently bringing everything back through center. We'll take it to the right side. So on an inhale, that right leg goes back. That left arm goes out. As we press that right heel back, reaching with those fingertips, and then coming back through center. We're going to go right into child's pose. Child's pose is a resting posture. We want to feel comfortable in this posture. So we're going to start by opening those knees, sliding those hips back to the heels, reaching those arms out in front and letting that head drop down between the arms. So releasing the hips, releasing the head, neck, and shoulders. If that does not feel comfortable to you, you can always bring those knees back together, stacking one fist on top of the other, resting that forehead here. Or if you have a block, adjusting that block. Finding that spot that works for you today. So again, anytime during the class time today, you can always come into child's pose if you need to take a break. From here, we're going to walk those hands over to that left side now. Keeping those hips pressed back, those hands walk over to the left side. We're feeling that stretch through that right side body. Almost like an accordion, as we take that breath, we feel that space on that right side opening up. We're going to gently walk those hands back through center and then take them over to the right side this time. Same thing. Those hips are still sinking back to the heels. We just move those arms over to the right side. So we're feeling that accordion stretch on that left side of the body. And then gently coming back through center. Just taking a few more rounds of breath here in child's pose before we go into our plank. So for plank, we're going to come up to tabletop. Usually for my class, we do 3 of these. Today, we'll just do 1. You can always add on additional plank pose, but we'll just do 1 today. So you've got a couple options here. If your wrists need a break, you can come down onto those forearms, planting those hands into the mat, tucking those toes, coming here. The second option, coming back into that tabletop, tucking those toes, that floating tabletop here. Or the third option is coming into full plank. So for full plank, we're going to widen those hands on the mat. We're going to tuck those toes back to the back of the mat. We're going to drop that tailbone down so that body is in that diagonal from the crown of the head to that tailbone. That core is engaged. That chest is open. We've hollowed out those armpits. And we're focusing on that gentle breath in and out through the nose. And then gently coming back to the knees. Carefully sliding back into that last child's pose. Again, modifying that child's pose for where you need to be. And then from here, we're going to carefully come up to our standing mountain pose. So just taking your time to get there. Obviously, no rush. So for our mountain pose, we're starting our standing series now. For mountain pose, we want to have our feet about hip distance apart. So a great way to check that is bringing that heel into that inner arch and coming back out. Lifting those toes, spreading out the toes, pressing them down into our mat. And then making any adjustments here so you feel that strong foundation, just like a mountain, that lower half of the body nice and strong here. From there, we're going to lift up from the knees to those hip bones. And then again, that navel up through the crown of the head, just like we did in our seated posture. So lifting up here, rolling that chest open, the shoulders down and away from the ears, those arms off to the side. And then finally, that little tuck back of the chin. So we've got that nice alignment again. So we're going to stay here for 3 rounds of breath, just in the standing mountain pose, this posture of strength. Eyes open or closed. Just take 3 rounds of breath. Again, 1 breath is that full inhale with a complete exhale. And then after that 3rd round of breath, we're going to bring those arms up on an inhale, reaching up overhead. On that exhale, pulling those hands down into that chest. Big inhale coming out. Exhale, arms back down to the side. Keeping that chest open, those shoulders down away from the ears. We'll do 2 more just like that. Big inhale, reaching up. Exhale, breath in. Big inhale out. Exhale, arms back to the side. Last one. Nice, big inhale, reaching up. Exhale, breath comes in. Big inhale out. Exhale, arms down to the side. From here, we're going to go into chair pose. So another posture for those big muscles at the bottom of the body, the leg muscles. So for chair pose, we'll keep our feet in that same stance. Arms off to the side. We're going to take a big inhale, reaching up. This time on that exhale, we're going to picture we're sitting back into that seat or that chair. So that bottom slides back onto our chair. The shoulders stay down away from the ears. Reaching out with those arms. Keeping that steady breath in and out through the nose. And then on an inhale, we're going to come up. Exhale. Arms off to the side. 2 more just like that. Big inhale, reaching up. Exhale, sinking down into that chair, sliding your shoulders down and away from the ears. And then big inhale up. Exhale, Arms off to the side. Last one, big inhale all the way up. Exhale, sinking down into the chair, shoulders down away from the ears, maybe picking up those toes. Inhale all the way up, exhale, hands down to the side. So I'm going to add in Warrior One today. We didn't add that last week. We did the seated twist from our chair. So what I like to do with my classes, I try to keep the beginning the same. So if you can't make it to class, we've done it enough times that you can remember and try to incorporate some things at home. So today we're going to add in Warrior One. So Warrior One is this posture of strength, confidence, just feeling that body engaged. So for Warrior One, what we're going to do first is we're going to bring those hands to the waist. So a couple modifications here. If you've got any back issues, obviously keeping that stance short, and you can keep the hands down on the waist and just work on that lower half of the body. So we'll step that left foot back at a 45-degree angle. So I took a fairly big step. If that doesn't feel right for you, bring that foot back in. So we want to think about rolling the weight to the outer blade of that back foot in that 45-degree angle. That back leg is our kickstand. We're going to have a slight bend in that front knee. Again, we don't want to be out over that big toe. You still want to be able to see that big toe. And then a little rotation with those hips forward. See that little adjustment here? That back leg is strong. We've got a bend in that front knee. And maybe you stay here today and just work on balancing here with those legs. Otherwise, if you're ready for that next step, reaching those arms up above, maybe opening that chest, maybe even adding a slight back bend here. Again, focusing on that nice breath in and out through the nose. Warrior One. Here we're going to bring those hands back to the waist. We're going to step that left foot up to meet the right. We're going to come right back into mountain pose. So opening up through the chest, shoulders down and away from the ears. A couple recovery breaths here before we go to the opposite side. So again, same thing. We're going to bring those hands back to that waist. I'm going to step my right foot back this time, 45-degree angle. Again, taking a moment here to adjust that stance. That feels right for your body. We want to roll the weight to the outer blade of that back foot. That is our kickstand, that back leg. We're going to put a bend in that front knee. Again, making sure that we're not out over the big toe. I want to see that big toe. And then that slight adjustment, moving those hips forward. You can stay right here. Otherwise, adding in the arms, lifting up, reaching up towards the ceiling, opening up through that chest. That gaze can go up towards the ceiling. Bringing those hands back to the waist. We're going to step that right foot up to meet that left. Coming right back into our mountain pose. Again, lifting up through the crown of the head. Taking a couple recovery breaths here. We're going to take it to the left side again. So you've got that muscle memory, that memory of what we did on our Warrior One. So again, stepping that left foot back, adjusting that stance for your body. So everyone's going to look a little different in this. We're going to roll to the outer blade of that back foot. That becomes our kickstand leg. A bend in that front knee, that little rotation with those hips forward, and then big inhale, reaching up here with the arms. We're keeping them at the waist. Warrior One. We'll bring those hands back to the waist, stepping that left foot up to meet the right. I'll take a moment here just to mention, if you're at home, always knowing that you can have a chair nearby as you're starting these if you don't feel comfortable with your balance. So giving yourself permission to have those props available if you need them. So we'll step back with that right foot now. That right foot comes back, 45-degree angle. We're going to Roll the weight to the back foot again, the outer edge of that back foot, adjusting that stance for your body. Bend in that front knee, slightly rotating those hips forward. And then we're going to add in those arms. Warrior one on that right side now. We'll bring those hands back to the waist, stepping that right foot up to meet that left foot again. We're going to come into a nice forward fold. Again, if you have a block, you can always use a block here to add that extension. So I'm going to take a nice big inhale, reaching up. Exhale, breath in. Big inhale out. And then exhale, swan dive forward. I want you to think about that head, the crown of the head coming towards the mat. So instead of that head out here, think about the crown of the head coming towards the mat. If you've got a block, you can always rest those hands here on the block, a little micro bend in the knee. So you're feeling a release through the hips, through the back of the legs. The other option is just to keep those fingertips right on the mat. So you can stay here. The second option is ragdoll, taking opposite hands to opposite elbow, making sure that you keep that micro in the knees so you've got that release through the back legs, that head, neck, and shoulder relaxed. The third option, taking those arms around the back of the legs for a bind, pulling that chest in closer to those quads. We're going to release that bind, walking those hands to the top of the mat, walking those feet to the back of the mat. I'm going to turn on my mat just so you can see. Stay the same on yours. So those hands walk forward, those feet walk back. So again, this is another posture where everyone's going to look different based on body type, calves. Sometimes some people have tighter calves. So the idea is to press those heels back to the back of the mat, reaching those fingertips forward. Then from here, we're lifting that tailbone up towards the ceiling so that body is in that inverted V. Again, head, neck, and shoulders, backs hanging heavy here. You're feeling the stretch through the back of the legs, through that side body, through those arms. Again, always adjusting that stance if you need to. So we're going to add in a little balance. We're going to keep that right foot grounded. We're going to take that left leg back, three-limb downward facing dog on the right. Bringing that left foot back down. Same thing, we'll lift that right leg. Three-limb downward facing dog on the left. We're going to bring both feet back to the mat. Coming back into our full downward facing dog, heels pressed back, fingertips forward. That inverted V. From here, I'm going to walk those hands, or excuse me, walking those feet through, and I'm going to turn. We're going to walk those feet through, coming down onto that seat, going into our seated posture. Start with staff pose, just taking a moment. We were up, now we're back down on the mat. So doing some adjustments here. We want to be up on those sitting bones again. We're going to have those legs extending out in front of us. That little micro bend in the knees. And then you can, flexing those toes up towards the ceiling. From there, we're going to find that navel again. We want to think about lifting up through the crown of the head, opening up through that chest again, those shoulders down away from the ears. I'm going to take those hands off to the side. So we've got that nice, strong torso lifting up through the crown of the head. On an inhale, we're going to reach up overhead. On that exhale, we're going to extend out and over those legs. And then gently fold forward. So never rushing that body, letting it gently get to where it needs to be. So each time you exhale here, I want you to think about that forehead coming closer to those knees. It doesn't have to get there, but just using that breath to soften that body into the posture. From here, we're going to extend those arms out on an inhale, using that core strength, coming back up. Exhale, arms off to the side. We'll do 2 more just like that. Nice big inhale, reaching up. Exhale, extending out over the legs, and then gently folding forward. That forehead coming closer to those knees. Again, keeping that little micro bend in the knees. So you should be feeling a release through the back of the leg and a gentle release through those hips. Each time you exhale, picturing that forehead and those knees coming closer together. On that inhale, extending those arms out, coming all the way back up. Exhale, arms off to the side. We'll do 1 more just like that. So big inhale up. Exhale, extending out and over first, and then gently folding forward. On that inhale, coming back up, using that core strength to bring us up. Exhale, arms off to the side. So we're going to do that same type of stretch on each leg. So we're going to start with that right leg. So if you want to adjust that right leg off to the side of your mat, we're going to bring that left foot into the inside of that right leg. So again, making those adjustments here. The other thing too, this might be an opportunity for a block. You know, you can always rest that block underneath the knee. So bringing that that left foot into that right. Same thing as, and like what we did in our Warrior One, we're going to gently turn that torso towards that right leg. So that little adjustment here, taking those arms off to the side, we're going to reach up on that inhale. Same thing, extending out and over that leg. Exhale, gently folding forward, that distance between that knee and that forehead. Closing each exhale, letting that body gently soften into that posture. From here, we're going to extend those arms out, coming up on that inhale. Exhale, arms off to the side. We'll switch legs. So that left leg goes out to the left side of the mat. We're going to bring that right foot in. Inside of that left leg. Same thing here. In that tall posture, just slightly rotating towards that left leg now. Those arms off to the side. I'm going to take that nice big inhale up. Exhale, extending out over that leg, and then gently folding forward. So on this stretch, you're feeling a little different release in that hip area versus when both legs are extended out in front. Again, focusing that breath, that exhale, that body softening into the posture. And then from here, gently reaching out with those arms, coming up on that inhale, on that exhale, hands off to the side. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together for that butterfly posture. So another great little hip opener. Hip openers at the beginning of class. So making sure we get this in here now. So up on those sitting bones, I'm going to take those hands and using the hands hold here on that chin area, opening up through that chest again. So we've got that nice open airway, that chest is open, shoulders down, ears. So really want you to think about almost using those hands on those shins as a little leverage to open up through that chest. We're going to do 3 rounds of breath here. Again, 1 round of breath is that full inhale, complete exhale. After that third round of breath, we're going to gently walk those fingertips forward on our mat. Again, just coming to your edge, so not over stretching here. Listen to your body. Once you're at your edge, we're going to drop that forehead down towards the feet. So a little deeper stretch here through those hips. And then we're going to gently walk those hands back. We're going to bring those knees together. We're going to come down onto our back for bridge pose. So we did bridge pose last week. If you didn't tune in last week, we want to make sure that we set up for our bridge pose. So we're going to come down onto our back. You can bring the heels a little closer to the glutes. You want to make sure in bridge pose that you keep that neck neutral, that you're not turning that head side to side. So we'll come down onto our back. Again, bringing those heels in if you need to, a little closer. You don't want to be too close, but maybe just adjust that distance with the feet. So that back is on the mat. We're going to bring those forearms down on to the sides. I'm going to slide slightly forward here. So those forearms coming down onto our mat, those hands pressing into the mat. So we're really using our leg strength here. The arms are just a little extra support. Again, that chin is tucked towards the chest. On an inhale, we're going to lift those pelvic bones up towards the ceiling. Keeping those knees parallel, we want to avoid splayed out or splayed in. So trying to think about those railroad ties, just lifting up directly, those pelvic bones up towards the ceiling. So here, those glutes are engaged, those inner and active thighs. Inner and outer thighs are activated. That chin stays tucked towards the chest. We've got that gentle breath in and out through the nose. And then we're going to take an inhale. On that exhale, we're going to slowly lower down one vertebra at a time. Coming back onto our mat, just taking that recovery breath here. We'll go into our second bridge pose for the second one. Same thing, maybe pressing into that big toe on both feet. We're going to lift those pelvic bones up on that inhale. And then taking an inhale, we're going to gently release on that exhale, one vertebra at a time. Using that core to come down gently onto the mat. Taking that recovery breath here, that full inhale, complete exhale. For this last one, you can do the same thing that we've done for the other two, or the other option is to take a bind behind the back with the arms. So when you come up, you can always bring those arms underneath, binding, and maybe even coming up onto the balls of the feet. So your choice for this last one, bridge pose on an inhale, lifting those pelvic bones up towards the ceiling. Maybe taking that bind underneath, and then focusing on that breath in and out through the nose. And then we'll take that inhale. On that exhale, gently lowering down one vertebra at a time. I'm going to turn sideways on my mat. You can see where you are. From here, we're going to bring those knees up into the chest, beginning the class. So hugging those knees in. Again, opposite hand to opposite elbow. Or you can just hold on below the knees. We're going to do 3 rounds of breath here. Again, keeping that neck neutral. As you take that exhale, lower back will press into the mat. So here we go. Nice inhale. Exhale, release. Nice inhale. Exhale, release. Last one, full inhale. And then exhale, release. We're going to send those legs up to the ceiling, reaching those arms up, palms facing one another. Just a little bit of core work here again. So we'll take an inhale. We're going to gently peel that upper back off the mat, reaching up for those toes on that inhale. And then on that exhale, gently lowering back down. 2 more just like that. Inhale, reaching up, peeling just that upper back off the mat, reaching. And then exhale, gently lowering. Last one, inhale, reaching up. Exhale, gently lowering. Pull those knees back into the chest. A little hug here. We're going to take those palms on top of the knees and we're going to do some little circles on that lower back. Clockwise and counterclockwise. So you can think about a circle here on the lower back, or you can think about a rectangle, like you're hitting all 4 points on that lower back. And then from here, I'm going to grab my strap or my scarf, whatever you've got today. We're going to loop those feet around the bottom of that scarf or strap. We're going to send those legs up to the ceiling. So for this class, I don't do a headstand or shoulder stand. We just do our legs up the wall this way. So again, this is a great one you can do at night before bed. It's just extending those legs, letting them rest against a wall, a chair, the side of the bed. So just a little release from that standing work we did and those stretches. Softening those shoulders down away from the ears, opening up through that chest. Focusing on that gentle breath in and out through the nose. And then we're going to release that strap. We're going to bring both feet down on the mat. We're actually going to do those hip openers. I usually start our class with these, but I'm going to finish up here today with some hip openers. We're going to keep that right foot grounded on the mat. We're going to pick up that left leg. We're going to cross that left ankle over that right knee. From here, we're going to take our right hand, pressing into that right hip. We're going to take that left hand, gently pushing that left knee away from the body. So just a gentle little movement here, almost like a clam shell. We're just gently opening up that shell. So again, that right hand stays on that right hip, that left hand, just gently pushing that left leg away from the body. Just a subtle movement, a little tiny release here. From here, we're going to take that left knee carefully to the outside of the rib cage, and then we're going to bring that left knee up towards that left shoulder, looping those fingers together. We're going to hold on to that left knee here. That right foot stays grounded on the mat, so 3 rounds of breath here. And then we're going to gently bring that left knee in front of the chest. Same thing, looping those fingers together. We're going to hug just that left knee into the chest, pointing that left toe towards our windows, in front of our mat. And then we're going to drop that left foot down onto the mat. From here, we're going to pick up that right leg, gently crossing that right ankle over that left knee. That left hand pressing into that left hip. That right hand gently pressing that right knee away from the body. So just a gentle release on that right side. A movement here. From here, we'll take that right knee to the outside of the rib cage, gently pulling it up towards that right shoulder, holding here 3 rounds of breath. Again, focusing on that breath. So maybe closing the eyes here. And then we're going to gently bring that knee in front of the chest. Same thing. Those fingers lock, that toe points towards the windows, that knee hugs into the chest. 3 full rounds of breath here. Full inhale. Complete exhale. From here, we're going to bring that left knee up to meet the right. Just a gentle squeeze, bringing both knees into the chest. We're going to come into those reclined twists now. I like to start class sometimes with the reclined twist. Today we did not, but I like to start and finish class with these. It's just a great way to kind of massage those internal organs. So we're going to take those arms off to the side, palms facing down. I want you to think about shifting those hips over to the right side of your mat and letting those knees fall over to the left. Again, this is a place where a block might come in handy to rest underneath those knees. So those hips shift to the right, the knees go to the left. We're going to gently pick up that gaze and take it to the right. So that chest is open, those shoulders are down away from the ears. So I'm just going to stand up and show you. Again, we shifted those hips over to the right, knees to the left, taking that gaze over to the side. So stay here for a couple rounds of breath. I want you to think about opening up through that chest as you release that exhale, that body gently coming a little deeper into that twist. Again, always listening to your own body, where it is at today. And then we're going to very carefully shift back through center, always taking time as we transition from one side or one posture to the other. So we're going to come back through center. We're going to shift those hips over to the left now, bringing those knees over to the right. Gently picking up that gaze and taking it to the left. As you exhale, opening up through that chest. Sinking a little deeper into that posture. And then carefully bringing everything back through center. We're going to bring that left knee up into the chest. We're going to bring that right knee up into the chest. Again, you can always use your strap too to help bring those knees in a little closer. So looping opposite hands to opposite elbow, holding below the knees, below the, or on that kneecap area. That chin is tucked towards the chest, that neck is neutral. We're going to do 3 rounds of breath here. Nice full inhale, complete exhale. 2 more. So after that 3rd round of breath, we're going to finish up with happy baby before we go into our final body scan and posture, relaxation posture. So taking those peace fingers, you can grab for those big toes, the outer blade, or even the ankles. We want to think about those knees coming down towards those armpits. So another little hip opener here. So again, here, here, or even here. Bringing those knees a little closer. You can stay here in that static pose, or if that lower back needs a little bit more attention still, you can always rock side to side. And I'm going to gently bring those knees back together, hugging them into the chest. From here, we're going to send that left foot down to the left corner of the mat. That right foot down to the right corner of the mat, making any adjustments here so you get comfortable on your back again. That left arm off to the side, that right arm off to the side, palms facing up. I'm going to stand to cue the rest of these, but I want you to go ahead and stay on your mat, on your towel. So finding that spot where that body can be comfortable again on the back. We're going to finish up these last 5 minutes of class with this relaxation. So again, if you're heading back to work or running errands, this last little bit of time just to listen to the breath and let that body relax after all our stretching and movements that we did today. So we're going to start with the ankles, especially since we did our Warrior One today. So just on your mat, just letting those ankles take a couple circles, one direction and then the other. Just a little rotation, one direction and the other. And then from here, we're going to flex those toes towards the front of our mat. And then we're going to flex those toes back towards the chest. So feeling that release on the top and bottom of the foot. We'll do that one more time. Flexing those toes towards the top of your mat. And then flexing those toes back towards the chest. And then finally, just allowing both feet to roll off to the corners of the mat. They've done the work, so finding that place where they can just settle in. We're going to gently work our way up that right leg. We're going to engage that right glute, just lifting the body just for a moment with that one muscle, and then releasing. Same thing, we're going to work our way up that left leg, gently engaging that left glute, just lifting for a moment, and then releasing. So now picturing everything from the waist down, those legs heavy, just sinking into your mat. They've done the work. So making any final adjustments so you don't have to move those legs for the next few moments. Just finding that space on your mat where those legs can settle in. So we're going to move up to the arms and that chest area now. So opening up through that chest, shoulders down away from the ears. We're going to start over on that right side. We're going to rotate that right wrist a few times, one direction and then the other. And then we're going to gently pick that right arm up off the floor and then allow it to float back down. That right arm completely heavy now, finding that place where it can just be at rest and making any adjustments here so you don't have to move it. And then we're going to work our way across the chest. Coming down to that left hand, we're going to rotate that wrist one direction and then the other. We're going to pick up that left arm off the floor and then allow it to gently float back down. So those legs are settled down, that chest is open, that right arm and left arm off to the side, completely still now. From here, we're going to work up to that jaw area again. So just like we did at the beginning of the class, nice big ah here. One more time, big ah. Opening up through that jaw area. We're going to bring those lips back together, sealing off the lips, all the muscles in the face softening. We're going to focus on that breath in and out through the nose again. You can close the eyes if you have an eye pillow that you'd like to use. You can lay that across those eyes now. And then thinking about that area between the eyebrows, the forehead, any tightness or tension there. Just picturing that rolling off the forehead onto the sides of the face, down onto the mat and away from the body. So for these next 2 or 3 minutes before we finish up here, just allowing that body to settle into the mat, focusing on that breath. I'm just going to let you take a few moments here, maybe the only quiet time here in the middle of your day. So enjoy, savor the next 2 moments just tuned into your breath, maybe the music or the smells and scents in your room. Whenever you're ready, we're going to begin to bring a little movement back into the body. So wiggling those fingers, wiggling those toes, maybe taking that thumb and just touching those fingertips, bringing that little bit of sensation back into the body. And then whenever you're ready, on that next inhale, reaching those arms up overhead, you're still down on the mat, so stretching out, big inhale. And then exhale, bring those arms back to the side. We'll do 2 more just like that from the mat. So big inhale, stretching everything out. Exhale, hands back to the side. Last one, big inhale, stretching everything out. And then exhale, letting all that breath go out through the mouth. We're going to roll on to that right or left side, just allowing that body to settle in, almost like taking a little nap, so rolling onto that right or left side, keeping those eyes closed for a few more moments, letting that eye pillow slide off if you used one today. Just checking in with how that body feels now versus when you started an hour ago. Anything that worked for you today or felt good, thinking about a way to incorporate that into your daily routine, even if it's just one or two things. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to push off with that top arm, and we're going to finish up in our seated posture here at the end of class. Taking a moment to get there. So again, coming back on to those sits bones, rocking side to side if you need to. Finding that navel again. We're going to lift up through the crown of the head, all that space we created today. We're going to open up through that chest, shoulders down and away from the ears. Those hands can be down on the knees. So feeling that nice strength through the torso. We're going to finish up with 3 rounds of breath here. So that full inhale, complete exhale, full inhale, complete exhale. That's nice, full inhale. Complete exhale. From here, we're going to bring those hands into that chest, into that heart center. I just want to thank you all for showing up again this week, being here with me today in our yoga studio here at the Indianapolis Healthplex. Be sure to check the schedule for other opportunities this week to size in. And thank you for joining us. Have a great afternoon.